I think you can easily pull this apart to see. Kervin is the owner and maker in Patapluma, and I ordered a couple wallets, the Utila and the Zella, and he was so excited he gave me a couple notes here. I wanted to point that out. I'm a sucker for interesting packaging, and he's got these wax seals that he puts on here, and I just had to kind of cut them open and take a look, but very cool. So this is the Utila, and this is the Zella. This kind of looks a little familiar, but an interesting little design here, which we'll take a look at. But first, let's take a glance at what we've got. Nice weighted leather. And look at interesting little layers we have here. Nice sewing, but it's not everywhere. So let's take a look at this Zella. Kind of a design we've seen in several places before, but this is just a little intriguing. All right, let's see what this new maker to the world of wallets has for us. From a color perspective, this is in the Utila is in tan olmo, and the Zella is in a green Pueblo and that tan olmo as well, which we see here on the interior. All right, let's start with the Zella first. We have the security snap. Holds cash and cards, so we've got cards and cash. Holds that in play, and you'll notice that this is a loop. And we have a paracord attachment here, but you can also do other tethers. You could tether this so it's on your belt, whatever, helps prevent pickpockets. It's interesting. At first I was thinking, wow, that's just not really, but there is some utility to this. I don't quite mind it. Then we have an external card slot right here. Cards actually can fit in here without having to unsnap. And same thing for cash here on the exterior. So cash folded once can fit in here. You can have full access by opening up like this, or you can just leave it in place, cards and cash. Now, when we open this up further, we see that we have another internal card slot right here. And it does have a side access, which is, keeps things in line with internal capacity, but it allows you to see the cards you have and be able to pick them out quickly. 1 to 3 cards in the front, 5+ notes in the back, another 2 to 4 here in the interior. Now let's look at the Utila. This one has a snap, security snap that keeps everything in place. Now there are quick access card slots. You've got one right here in the back, another card from our friend, capacity 1 to 2 cards, and then we have a vertical slot. This vertical slot that's right in here, and what we have is the ability to have things come around. So this slot actually turns out to be our cash pocket right here. Cash comes in here, and then it wraps over right here, which is quite clever. And then right here, we have a flap. This flap allows you to have additional cards. You can put coins in here, air tags, whatever you'd like to put in here. And this flap comes over, so nothing's going to get out this top right here, as you can see. And then the snap holds everything in place. And then if we open this up one more time, we can see that we've got this plus this right here, this external. Open this up right here, and that's where we have all the accessibility that's all wrapped up. This looks very familiar to another wallet that we've done a review in. I'll have it right up here for you to take a look at. So let's get to Utila. It measures 4 by 3.3 by 0.6, and it weighs 2.2 ounces or 61 grams. Not too bad. If we take a look at the Zella, it measures 4.6 by 3 by 0.5, and it weighs 1.48 ounces or 42 grams. That's a mouthful.
Let's test them.
All right, this one is so thick because it has this air tag in it here. But boy, I tell you, it just takes all this without a problem. And notice how we can get cards right back here. So you have cards that are available here. You can also put cards in here, as well as the quick access ones here, and the cash. And the cash works just fine. And if you don't like your cash showing, well, it's just as easy then to just fold it once, tuck it away back here, and you're good to go. This is just very versatile. I just like all the little options in here and the things that you can, places you can place stuff. It's really, really quite intriguing. If we bring both of these out, the maker, his name is Kervin Zamora. He is Honduran. He studied in the United States and now teaches in the Netherlands. And leather making became a hobby that he's now trying to move into a business. The Zella is made from 3 pieces of leather. The majority is in the second piece used to form the wallet, with a small loop here at the top being really the separate piece.
2 are so much better.
Oh yeah, that's so awesome. Now sewing is all well done. You can see that it's pretty substantial in all the right places, and it is reinforced where it needs to be. The Utila is clever in its design that we kind of talked about. Now let's see what we got here. I think you can easily pull this apart to see what's going on with this wallet. Just like that. Wow! And that gives you an idea of how it was put together, which is really clever. Designing wallets like this is not an easy thing to do. So this one comes together actually pretty easy compared to a lot of the other ones we've looked at. From a pricing perspective, the Zella is priced for $60 and the Utila is $65. Both are easy to use. The Zella's paracord might be a bother, but it's also helpful if you want to be able to pull it out of your pocket. You can also attach the tether like I mentioned, which is really good. Now despite the snap, you can gain access to everything without the snap. Honestly, you can gain access to cards here, as well as your cash here. But without the snap, you lose a lot of that security. Cards can fall out, so can your cash. So even if you don't even undo this, you still have access to all of your contents. Now, the Utila is like an Escher puzzle. Hopefully you know who Escher is. I know you've seen his stuff before. Look familiar? Like when trying to figure out where your bits are, but the clever way Curven's designed it makes it really fun to use. I've taken it apart, I showed you this, but like the Zella, the Utila can be used without unsnapping. For example, you can pull the internal flap out like this if you want to gain access to cards or coins just really quickly, and it just folds back into place. And if you folded your cash a certain way, you can actually gain access to cash here, or you can, if it's a wrap all the way around, you can find the piece of cash you want, the slip, the note, pull it out that way. And of course, you got the quick access card slot on the back. Now, the Utila can get a bit thick once loaded, but it is fairly compact, and you know, it's got quite a few little fun things going on with it. It's always great to visit with new makers and see what they're coming up with. Now on to the final score. Both came in at the same score, quality of 4, price of 3, features of 4, usability of 3, and perception of 3. That gives us a final score of 3.7 out of 5. Now, that being said, perception, we've got Curven. He is brand new at this. I think he's got very clever work going on, but there are some fine-tuning things I think could be happening here with his leather and finishing products. But otherwise, I really like what he has here. And if you're interested, let's check him out. If you'd like to see new leather makers, then watch this video next, and we'll see you in the next review. Bye-bye.